Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you may be listening, whatever time it may be. My name is Ryan Dooley. That is my co host, Justin Baker, and we are your hosts for Let's Talk Reds. Sunday, January 4th, 2026. Said it correctly this time. Yeah, Happy New Year, Justin. How are you?
Happy New Year. The year started off hot, so let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, it's been an interesting start to the new year. Not from the Cincinnati Reds perspective, though. They have not done anything since the new year. Granted, it is only the fourth day of the new year, but I don't know how much more they're really gonna do total. Uh,
Their options are kind of, when you look at it, kind of running out on what they can do. So,
yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of what we think if we were in Nick Kral's position, what we would kind of do. Yeah, we're gonna try to keep this as realistic as possible because we understand that the Reds are not gonna spend a ton of money. I currently looking at their payroll, it sits at 111 million. Last year it was 119 million, so they're gonna be about the same again. They might be a little higher than last year. Um, but yeah, we're gonna keep it kind of within those constraints. I will throw out some names that maybe are a little more far fetched. But Justin, I'll kind of kick it over to you. What do you think the biggest need still is on this team?
well, I think coming into the season or coming into the off season, it was known that our biggest needs was going to be a power corner outfield bat that could actually produce good offense for this team at the big league level, and they have not really addressed that issue. They got JJ Bleday and Dane Myers, but those don't really fill the gap that you would consider a power outfield bat. So I think that they've made moves there, but that still is a need that they have. And the only issue is I don't know how at this moment they're going to be able to fill that with some of the names that are left and the money that they have to spend.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you on that. It was said by the front office and fans that that was what was needed coming in was a power outfield bat. They haven't done it. Like JJ Bleday and Dane Myers, the two signings in the outfield, those are depth. Those are great depth pieces. Like if we're heading into the postseason and JJ Bleday and Dane Myers are on our bench, I feel great. I'm like those are great guys to have if you need them, but not to rely on them. I mentioned this in the last episode, but let me go ahead and look at if I have it pulled up here. JJ Bleday is currently slotted. Okay, slotted hit seventh now, but to play every day, and I don't think JJ Bleday should be playing every day in this lineup if you want to take a step forward from where you were last year. I agree. We need an outfield power bat, but yeah, if the Reds aren't willing to spend money, the two big names out there to spend it on are Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker, who would both be great here. But the Reds are not going to spend that money. I would love Cody Bellinger to be in Cincinnati, and reports are that he wants a 7 year contract, and that's kind of what is holding up some other teams from signing him. I don't think the Reds would ever do this. Is the pipe dream that he would ever be here. But yeah, what I'm interested to hear some of the names that you looked at and liked as a fit here.
Well, when you go through the current still available free agents at both left field and right field, there are not many names that are going to jump out to you and be like, "Oh, this is a guy that the Reds should definitely go get." Like I want to say one of the highest WAR that's still left is Mike Talkman, and so like he was right around. I think it was a 1.4.
1.4 WAR last year, projected point 0.8 this year. Yeah,
Yeah. So like that's one of the biggest names that's still
he
available
could bring
outside
Tommy
of those
Pham
like
back.
yeah, I don't think that that's a needle mover as well. The one option at left field that is still available, who Reds fans have already seen play, and he did
Was
well in the Reds uniform, Miguel Andujar is
not
still a
the name
free
I thought you
agent.
were gonna say. Okay,
No, Miguel Andujar is still a free agent. He plays left field. The Reds love the platoon, so if they're going to go with Blade in left field, you might as well bring in Miguel Andujar back because he can fill in. He can DH as well. He's gonna kill. He kills lefties. Like that's been proven throughout his entire career. So a good person to bring in, for, in my opinion, to try and help some of the issues that we still currently have with this roster would be re-signing Miguel Andujar.
yeah. I mean, I think the problem I have with that is then what was the Dane Myers and JJ Bleday moves? Because it feels like that was the Miguel Andujar move. Like it feels like that's what Dane Myers is. He's a he's a better defensive Miguel Andujar that doesn't hit lefties as well, but that's what his specialty is. Then it would feel like the trade there is completely worthless. A name I want to throw out, a name I thought you were going to say that I just kind of noticed as I was scrolling through here. How about a guy that Reds fans love that could go play the outfield and all he does is try to hit homers now? How about Jesse Winker? What do you think about a Jesse Winker reunion out there?
I I saw his name on there. Um, I don't think that that's a likely path that they would take because of JJ Bleday. Um, Winker is just like an older he has obviously is more proven in what he can do at a big league level, but he's just an older, kind of slower,
Yeah, he
not
can't
great
hit lefties.
defensively, and he's not gonna be able to hit lefties at all. So I don't know. You kind of put yourself in a corner if you make a move like that, where you still don't wouldn't have someone who can mash lefties, which is a pretty key thing to have if you're trying to have any sort of true success during a major league season.
What would be the number one name on your board right now if you were looking for an outfielder right
I I mean, it's just the issue is
now?
there's
all,
just not a
all
lot of
roads
names.
lead back to Miguel Andujar.
Like you have Max Kepler.
So that's the next name I was going to bring up is Max Kepler.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, once again, that's not a needle moving.
His projection right now on Fangraphs is 1 year, 7 million. That's right in the Reds price range. Like that's a move. That's a signing that I could see happening. And I would love Max Kepler, especially in Cincinnati. That swing it fits perfectly in the ballpark. I'd have to do a little more research into him. I really didn't look at him all that much, but I know this was a guy that has he been talked about before? Was it last year that the Reds were like talking about Max Kepler?
I think his name's been brought up. I don't know what year it was, but I do know there was talk at one point about the Reds trying to get Max Kepler.
And he can play both corners, which is nice. Lefty. I don't know what his splits look like. I'll look into that right now of what his splits look like. Um,
Well, while you're doing that, the left field market currently, the best available left fielders goes Miguel Andujar, Austin Hayes, Jesse Winker, Michael Conforto. And the Reds they've done the Austin Hayes experience last year. They've done the Miguel Andujar experience last year. So I don't know how inclined they are to bring those guys back. The later this goes into the offseason, if they still need an outfielder, I guess that one of those moves would make sense. I would honestly probably rather an Austin Hayes over Miguel Andujar if I had to really get down into it, just because I feel like Hayes gives you more of a power bat. Um, he didn't hit for the average that Andujar had last year, but we saw like in stretches he can hit the ball over the fence, which is something that team misses. He's a pretty good defensive outfielder. He's got a decent arm, so it's like I Austin Hayes is a name that the later this goes, I could see if he doesn't get a contract and the Reds still need that position, that he's someone they could come back and try to re-sign. I don't know what the reaction from the fan base would be because I feel like it was kind of split on him last year because he had his really good moments, and then he had his really bad moments, and then obviously he's got the injury stuff that goes on occasionally. So I don't know what the reaction to that would be, but that is a possible name that I think would fit back onto this lineup like it did last year.
I think for me, I disagree with you on that. I would, if it was between Hayes and Andujar, I'd rather have Andujar. I think in Andujar just brings a little more, like you said. I like the average from Andujar, and he just kills lefties. Not that Hayes doesn't, but Hayes was so up and down in a lineup that's already so streaky. I would rather have a guy like Andujar, who I think I have a little more faith over the course of a season to be more consistent than Austin Hayes. Also,
Well,
on Max Kepler, don't hit him against lefties. You got to
yeah,
platoon him.
and that's
He's
another. But
bad against lefties.
who does like who would he platoon with? That's the thing. There's no
Yeah,
one to platoon these left-handed bats with right now.
yeah. You almost you the problem is they need a guy who can just like go play every day and go hit homers like a big power bat. But if they go get one, you're not benching Noel V. Marte. You're not benching TJ Friedel. So then both Blade and Dane Myers now don't have somewhere to go. That's why I'm not sure that they're gonna go get a big outfielder.
And most likely they're probably not, but that is still on their
Unless,
current roster. That is still on their current roster, their biggest hole that they have.
unless there is a name out there that keeps for 3 years now has been floated around.
And it's still going to require heaven and earth to land someone like
I
Luis
don't think.
Robert.
I think the White Sox now are more inclined to dumping Robert than they were. Because it was kind of, yes, he had a bad year or a bad year and a half or whatever, but like he's still there. He's been bad for 2, 3 years now, at least two. He's just been like a bad player.
No, but even when he's been a bad player, they still haven't backed off of their high asking
That's true.
prices when teams come calling for him. So I don't know. They would have to have quite the change in philosophy inside their front office if they were going to make a move like that, because they've been very stubborn that they are looking for either major league players or like several top prospects in order to get him.
Yeah.
And the Reds probably should not make that move at this current moment to try and get someone like that if that's what it's still going to take.
Man, I see. I would I'd absolutely love to have Luis Robert on this team.
I,
Very high upside, and the Reds seemed. That's the funny thing is the Reds go after all of these guys who it's like, hey, he could hit 25 homers. He could like Luis Robert Jr. could hit 40 homers in a year. He could. We've seen that type of 2023. He hit 20 or excuse me, he hit 38 homers. Like 857 OPS. Yeah, that'll play. But are you gonna get that? Or are you gonna get the six what is it? The 659 OPS over the last 2 years? Like what Luis Robert Jr. are you gonna get?
and that's why it's a dangerous proposition when you bring that up, because you don't know what you're going to get. And if they're going to want the prospects they've been wanting, and you're not guaranteed to get the 40 home run Luis Robert,
Yeah.
and they're going to make you pay the price for the 40 home run Luis Robert, you find yourself in a really tough spot where you could really seriously damage your long-term future by giving away your top guys for someone like that.
Would you trade Nick Lodolo for him? Because I think that's what the name that is gonna get floated around for it.
I personally don't think that I would, because I think Nick Lodolo has had more constant success at a major league level than Luis Robert has had. Um, I know that the Reds, I don't know if they've floated Lodolo in trades around, but it's been reported by other people that he's someone in the past that they have thought about trading.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that would really depend. If you're going to trade Lodolo, we would have to be banking on someone else to step up and take that role.
Louder,
And
probably. Louder to be in the
Louder
back end.
could. Um, Brandon Williamson is coming back soon off of injury, I think, and
That
he
can't be who you rely on though. It has to be
that
Burns and Louder.
that's why it's dangerous, because those your guys Burns and Louder are there, but then the fallback after that is Brandon Williamson.
Chase Petty. He looked
I
bad
think
last year.
he
He
still
looked
has
awful last year, but
I think he still has some time, and I don't think he's going to move the needle in these trade talks if that's someone that we're going to give up.
I'm saying to step up as like a if Lodolo's gone and you need someone to step up.
I don't think currently Chase Petty's going to be that guy.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen Brandon Williamson.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You never know if Brandon Williamson's ever going to truly be healthy again. He tears his UCL and then has a major setback when he's rehabbing, where I don't know if he fully tore it again, if he tweaked it, but I know that he got shut down because he re-aggravated that early last year.
Yeah.
So you
Looks
don't
like
know what
he'll
health you're getting from him either.
looks like he should be back by spring training.
Well,
From what I'm
yeah,
seeing.
he's currently on their depth chart. He's
Okay.
listed as he'll be back, but you don't know. He could throw a bullpen in spring training and something goes wrong, and now he's back on the shelf for another year, and you'd have to fall back onto the next guy. And it Julian Aguiar is the name
That's
that
the
comes in
yep, that
after
was the
that.
next name I was about to say is
So
Julian Aguilar. He's the next guy.
and he had a decent start last year. He had some bad starts. It's another name that I don't think anyone would be truly confident in relying on to get us through a season.
Yeah, no, I I don't know if I would pull the trigger on Lodolo. I think I probably would, just because I don't know that the value matches up as well as I would like it to. But if we get if we get a 25 homer Luis Robert, I think that's more valuable to the Reds than Nick Lodolo is.
Well, the one thing the Reds have going for them is their starting pitching. So
Exactly.
if there's one group that could take a slight step back, if it means improving the offense, then it would make sense. But that's once again banking on the fact that you're getting a 25 home run Luis Robert,
Yep.
and recently he has not shown to be that guy.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I think the funny thing that we talk about too, when we keep talking about these like power outfield lefties with big upside, we already have one of those. His name's Will Benson. He's just can't figure it out. It seems like it's like every year you see stretches of him where it's like, okay, Will Benson's back to being what we thought he would be, and then it's like, okay, he's now one for his last 30.
Yeah, it's a very streaky. When he's on, it's really good. When he's not on, it's AAA. And you can't have that type of volatility from a player if you're trying to make yourself an everyday staple and perform for a team that has ambitions of going somewhere in the playoffs.
What about a guy that's not gonna play the outfield, but could slot into the lineup, and it's gonna be a low number on a contract, but kind of I feel like what we need. What about Marcelo Ozuna to have a bounce back year?
Ozuna from the Braves.
Could be Ozuna
I
from the Reds.
Yeah, could be, but he's not playing outfield.
No. He's
So,
he's a DH. He's strictly a DH.
and
Um,
I don't know if this Reds team outside of Kyle Schwarber, I don't think the way that they're built, they're looking for a strict DH.
man, it's just like our DH right now is Gavin Lux. Like, come on, he can't be the everyday DH. It
It's
has to be
Gavin
someone
Lux and
else.
Sal Stewart. Those are your current people who would DH.
I mean, Ozuna, he wasn't great last year at all. He
That whole
wasn't.
Braves team wasn't great last year.
Yeah, he was so good the year before, 2024. That he was incredible, and then last year just not nearly as good. Yeah, year before, um, hit 302. Yeah, I mean just 39 homers. Yeah, 104 RBIs. Believe I'll pull up his baseball reference. Believe he finished in the top like 3 of MVP voting. I believe.
He was up there.
Um,
Yeah, because that was a really surprisingly good year for him
yeah,
last year.
he
I
was
mean,
really good.
even last season, he had 21 homers still.
Fourth, finished
So
fourth in MVP voting. Yeah, last year was like a down year. He had a 756 OPS though. He was not nearly as good last year as he was the year before. I mean, but still, yeah, 21 homers. If you gave me Marcelo Ozuna, it says he's going to get a 1 year, $12 million deal. If you gave him $12 million to go hit 21 homers next year for the Reds, I'd sign up for that.
yeah, but I mean, it just goes back to the way that the Reds have built their rosters over the past couple of years. It seems that they have a reluctance to bring in a strict DH because they like their utility and they like their being able to play different positions and slide guys in different spots of the lineup. So you kind of limit yourself in your ability to do that when you
Yeah.
sign someone who's strictly going to DH and can't come off the bench to help some of the platoons, like and be a defensive replacement in games.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, and I agree that this is how the Reds think. But we've got enough guys who can come off the bench and be a platoon and do whatever. Like, just go get a guy that will hit 25 homers in Great American. Like you can, I think right now you could, because let's see, the years before, 23 homers, 40 homers, 39 homers, 21. In Great American, I think if you signed Marcelo Ozuna, you could pencil him in for 25 homers and be confident that he's going to go do that the next year.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be it would be nice. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna it wouldn't be nice, but it's just I don't know how plausible that is for the Cincinnati Reds, given the way that they are.
Kind of crazy. Didn't realize this about Marcelo Ozuna. He has finished inside the top 20 in MVP voting 4 times in his career. I had no idea that he was getting MVP votes like that. 2020, he finished sixth.
Well, that's what
15th when he was a
happens.
Marlin in 2017, and 19th and that insane. It's it's insane that he finished 19th in MVP voting and he hit 40 homers in 2020. That's how good that Braves offense was. He hit like sixth on that team.
Yeah. And I mean, home runs get you in an MVP conversation though, because that's one of the big things that people look
Yeah.
at. So if you're hitting home runs, there's a good chance that you're probably going to be somewhere in that MVP voting.
He cut down on strikeouts a lot last year, which I thought was nice. He walked more. He walked 20 more times last year, so he became more patient. And maybe that's why some of the power numbers were down. He also played less games. But maybe that's why some of the power numbers were down a little bit, is because he was more patient. Kind of like what Ellie tried to do last year. If Ellie for a month there just wouldn't swing. Like, unless it was
Yeah.
right down the middle, he wasn't going to swing at the pitch. Maybe Marcell Zuniga was doing a little bit of the same thing. Um, yeah, I think the other little bit of an issue. You kind of find guys to plug and play is the bullpen. We could still use some back end guys. Obviously, we re-sign Emilio Pagan. We add Caleb Ferguson as a lefty in that bullpen. I actually think I'm okay with how the bullpen is. I wouldn't mind maybe one more arm. I don't know that Yusver Saleta is someone that I want pitching a lot in that bullpen.
No, not
Sam
quite.
with San Mole, I'm not a huge fan of him in that bullpen. I understand he's a lefty. Um, is there a name out there that I know? I think we're gonna talk about Scott Barlow coming back. 'Cause I wouldn't hate Scott Barlow coming back. Um, any other names that you see that's like that's who we should go get?
Well, the reliever market, all the top end guys are pretty much gone
Yeah,
already.
which we were
David
not gonna go
Robertson's
get
still
those guys
here.
anyway. Wouldn't
No,
hate that
David
at all.
Robertson, yeah, he's 41 though, so kind of
Yeah, man, but it
scary on.
just it works. It's
Yeah,
a 41 that works.
yeah. And then Jacob Junis is on here, which he was with the Reds for a little bit.
It's
In
another
20,
name at the top of this list that I just pulled up who was a red. I would be if they bring back Justin Wilson into this bullpen, I will have issues.
yeah. Well, there's a even funnier name on here from the Derek Law is on here as
Oh
well.
God,
Yeah,
Suter's still on here. I could definitely see like Brent Suter coming back for a year.
Evan Phillips would be an interesting name.
Yeah, well, the issue with him is I don't know if it was someone that tweeted this or if he said it. I think it was him that said something about he wants to go be a closer somewhere to prove like his value again, which he's not going to be the closer in Cincinnati.
No, because
Um,
Pagan's already been anointed that after they re-signed him. So
yeah, because
yeah,
we
but
we've
that's
never
that's
had a
that's
closer have a good season and then suck the next season.
which one?
I was referring to
Marcel
Alexis
Iglesias,
Diaz.
Alexis Diaz.
I was referring
As
to
I
Alexis
said,
Diaz, who
Heath
got
Hembry.
cut after.
Yeah, Heath
Um,
Hembry fits into that boat.
Heath Hembry, what was it?
That was
July or August of
it was 21, I believe.
21, where he was like the best reliever in baseball, and then just sucked afterwards. That was amazing. Heath Hembry.
Yeah.
I would take Heath Hembry. I would take him. Give me
But
Heath
like,
Hembry. He's still pitching, isn't he?
um,
Yeah, I thought he was somewhere. Maybe not.
maybe he might be in Japan.
I would love Evan Phillips.
Ryan Presley still free agent.
Presley still. Dang. Yeah, I. That's one I would like. I thought he got signed.
Well, as of hold on, I mean, it would have had to
Heath
have been
Hembry
very
has not played.
recent.
Um, maybe I'm thinking. See, I always flip Presley, and let's. Why am I just not looking at the free agent board here? Um,
Although it appears okay.
no, he's
Uh,
still here. Okay, I always get him. I always put him and Helsley together for some reason. I don't know why.
he
Helsley did get
apparently
signed.
is mulling over. He was mulling over retirement at one point. So
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
37. He's old.
Yeah,
Um, Jose Leclerc.
another interesting one. Um, I believe that he has issues with the home run ball. I think I do
Never
believe,
mind.
which
That's not what we need.
Reds bullpen pitchers and home
Oh,
run balls is not exactly ideal.
how about an even better former Red? How about Hunter Strickland? You want to see
Yeah,
him
so
back in
I
the
want him
bullpen?
as far away from our team as possible. I don't, under any circumstance, hope that he comes back to pitch in our bullpen.
Dauri Moreta, get the reverse slider back.
So he's signed with the NPB.
Ah, I did. I missed that.
Yeah, he's over in Japan.
Give me Andrew Chafin in the bullpen. Give me Andrew Chafin.
Liam Hendricks is still a free agent.
Is he gonna pitch? Like he hasn't been healthy. Kimbrel? Oh, Kimbrel's got home run issues. That's not who we want. Walks
Ryan
and homers.
Stanek. Ryan Stanek
Did you
is
say
here.
did Kopech get picked up by somebody?
Yeah, he's on the Blue Jays now.
Okay. Maybe yeah, maybe Fangraphs needs to update this because they do not have.
Yeah, the farther you get down this list in relievers, it's less and less appetizing to have any of these on our team.
Yeah, 19 hours ago signing with the Blue Jays.
I don't know. I don't think the Reds are going to be. You're not going to sign. It's just going to be someone who can get outs in like the middle innings when you're trying to bridge the gap into later arms like Connor Phillips, Tony Santillan, and Emilio Pagan. So
Yeah.
you're just looking for someone who can eat those like innings when the starter comes out in like the sixth inning, fifth inning, like somewhere in there. Someone that can cover those innings and pitch somewhat effectively is the type of person that you would be getting. And that still points back to Scott Barlow, who would come
Yep.
in and he could sometimes stretch it to 2 innings and get you 6 outs. So I think the familiarity there, he's worked with the Reds, and um, I think out of the names that we've mentioned so far, weirdly, Scott Barlow still seems like a name that I would be
I mean, at this point,
pretty,
just bring Barlow and Suter back and call it a day. I mean, the
yeah.
bullpen was fine last year. It wasn't ever really a liability throughout the year. It wasn't a strength, I wouldn't say, but it wasn't a liability.
It was a very average to slightly above average MLB
Yeah, and when
bullpen,
you've got
and
such a
with the
good
starting
starting
pitching,
rotation, yeah.
yeah. So that's just why offense is pretty crucial this year, but we'll see what they do with that.
All right, I'm gonna throw out one more name of a guy we didn't talk about, but I want to include in this episode somewhere as my Reds fan pipe dream. Keep talking about former Reds. We need a slugger. And Eugenio Suarez is still sitting
But once again, the Brian Hayes trade pretty much sealed the fate of bringing in someone, so he would be another DH.
there. Yeah, I think he can play first if you need him to. Didn't the Diamondbacks or someone have look at him at first base?
Not off the top of my head, do I remember that?
Well, I
But I
mean,
mean,
we also love to just stick guys at first base. So
yeah,
remember
I
Brian
wouldn't,
Pena playing first base, so anything's possible after that.
I wouldn't be opposed to a Eugenio Suarez coming back. I don't know exactly how that would work with the rest of the team, but I mean, it's always nice to have someone that you know can hit the ball over
We're,
the wall.
we would lead the league in strikeouts. That'd be for damn sure. With Ellie and him, if they were both in that lineup every single day.
Yeah, Reds Facebook would not enjoy that lineup. There'd be a lot of why are they not hitting line drives to right field?
How many homers do you think he hit last year?
It's over 40. I want to say like 47.
49.
Yeah,
49 homers. Ties his career high. He hit 49 in 2019 for the Reds.
before
He's
we
supposed to
traded
get.
him to Seattle.
Yep. Him. Well, it wasn't that year. It wasn't after that year. We traded him, what, 2 years later?
After he started not being very
He
good,
was
I
in the
think.
Winker trade, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
he didn't play as well, and
Yeah.
then they traded him.
Yep. Um, yeah, I mean, the some of the I think the issue is that some of the underlying numbers with him are not good. He's he's a DH. You can't play him in the field, especially you can't play him at third when Brian Hayes is on your team because you have the best defensive third baseman in baseball, arguably with him and Matt Chapman, and then Suarez, who was a liability over there, -6 outs above average last year. So
Yeah,
he's slow. He's a DH. That's what he is. He's a DH, but He's gonna hit 30 homers at least. He's at 30 both the last 2 years.
Yeah, I once
Hitting
again, it's
almost 50
nice to
last year.
have someone that hits homers, but the way the Reds construct their rosters, that's not something that they are like actively it seems like looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you have to get pop from somewhere. You have to. You can't have the same line. Like, I love Ellie De La Cruz. He can't be the slugger in this lineup. He's great because of how dynamic he is, but he cannot be the guy that's like, yeah, he's probably going to lead the team in homers. It's going to be him or Sal Stewart. Maybe Steer.
Could be Matt McLean.
Oh, and when we're planning on doing some like player previews that will space out like getting up to the season. The Matt McLean one might be a long one because there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to go over there. I think I'll kind of ask this. Let's see. Would you rather have the problem I think is Suarez is not going to want a 1-year deal. It's going to have to be multiple years. So let's just go off the savant or off Fangraphs here. Would you rather have Marcelo Ozuna 1 year for 12 mil or Eugenio Suarez 3 years for 60?
I think the Reds would rather the Marcelo Ozuna option there.
What would you rather have as a Reds fan?
I don't know. These 3-year deals that we keep signing guys to don't end up working out too well for us. So.
You mean like how we're paying Jeimer Candelario still?
Yeah, that's a pretty good example of where that is coming from.
We are
how old
paying
is
Jeimer
Suarez?
Candelario. Suarez is 34, so he'd be 37 at the time of the contract ending. But if you're planning on making him a DH, it's fine. Nelson Cruz hit into his 40s. Ozuna's still hitting.
I don't think Eugenio Suarez and Nelson Cruz are really the same.
No, they're not. Nelson Cruz is a much better hitter than.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are currently paying. We're paying Jeimer Candelario $13 million this year to not play for the Reds, and $18 million the year after to not play for the Reds.
Yeah,
I would rather have Marcelo Ozuna on that for 1 year, 12 mil. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No worries.
And I think that also fits better into the Reds payroll and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's cheaper. If it was 1 year, 20 mil for Suarez, I think I'd rather do that because I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I think it'd be fun to have him back. Donovan Solano's sitting there. We can go grab him again. Santiago Espinal, your favorite player, Santiago Espinal.
No.
I got nothing else. That's just kind of all the guys I want to talk about. We're deep in the off season here. We're talking about guys that we should not be talking about. This will get way more exciting once we're in season and able to recap games. Yeah, I got nothing else, Justin. Anything and any other names you want to talk about before we get off here?
No, I think I pretty much mentioned every single reliever in the market still, so
yeah.
I don't think there's too much more to go into there.
Hopefully Luis Robert. That would be the name that would get me really excited. I'm still waiting to see if the Reds make a move that like makes me excited for the season. I'm gonna be excited either way, but like last year it was Francona. It's like, here we go. It was year 2 of Ellie the year before. It was like, okay, we saw Ellie's rookie year. Like, let's see. I'm interested to see what that storyline kind of is, and if they sign Luis Robert, I'll be like, all right, let's see if Robert can bounce back. I guess maybe this year it'll be let's see if Hunter Green can stay healthy and win the Cy Young, if he's a Red.
Well, I hope he's a Red. So
that will be a very different dynamic in an episode if he is no longer a Red. If we are sitting on here reacting to a Hunter Green trade, that will be a very different dynamic.
Yeah, that won't be as enjoyable.
All right, I got nothing else. You all good?
Yeah, I think I've said everyone.
Let us know down below if you enjoyed this video. Make sure like and subscribe. Leave a comment if anyone we missed who you would like to see the Reds go get, what move you'd like to see them make. From wherever you may be listening, whatever time it may be, I'm Ryan Dooley. That's Justin Baker, and this was Let's Talk Reds. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Talk Reds. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. Also, leave a comment letting us know what you think we missed or points you would like to see us make in a future episode. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, click on one of the videos on your screen right now, and let's go Reds.